Hey guys, Michael the Comic Nerd here. I just want to talk to you a bit about some recent news that's been going on that does directly affect my channel. I'm sure a lot of you already know or have heard about what's been going on with YouTube lately, but in case you're not aware, let me catch you up to speed really quick. I'm a few weeks behind on this. I've been kind of quiet about it, except occasional mention on one of my episodes of Review Team. But I want to take the time to actually really address it for a couple minutes at the very least. So this is my usual unedited video. This is just me just generally sharing my thoughts, kind of like what caused it, why people are upset about it, the common defenses I've heard about that. That's a whole nother topic. And just kind of my own thoughts on the matter. So for those who do not know, YouTube has recently decided to change the rules to the YouTube Partnership Program, in that people who do not have 1,000 subscribers and 40,000 watch minutes for the year lose their monetization status, which means they can't make money off any of their videos. For obvious reasons, this is being very, 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 very controversial in the YouTube community, especially the smaller creators who feel pretty fucked over, and for good reason. Now, I've been following this story for a while, but kind of like listening to some of the defenses I've heard on this, and I've noticed a few interesting patterns. Now, some of the defenses I've heard, at least from a business standpoint, I can say, okay, that makes good degree of sense. I don't like it, but I can see where they're coming from. Some defenses I've heard have just been downright fucking insulting, and I'll get to those guys. But let me talk about first about why people are upset by this change. Now, YouTube, a few years ago, now YouTube's gone through a lot of controversial shit recently with stupid popular YouTubers doing really stupid things that they really should fucking know better than to do. Yeah, I'm not gonna say, and you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And then YouTube's response is to basically punish the people below them, or at least as a way to distract from that controversy. I would not be surprised this is a publicity move to distract from the larger issue of the bigger YouTubers who won't keep their fucking mouth shut when they really should. And that's just common fucking decency, people. That's just common decency. You know, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe before you open your mouth, maybe you should think, should I say this thing? Should I do this thing? Is this appropriate? Maybe the answer is sometimes no. But because those idiots did those stupid things, and now we have to pay for it. And so instead of dealing with the larger problem of, quite frankly, just desensitization of the more popular YouTubers who just throw shit out there for shock value without dealing with the consequences, they've instead decided to go for the smaller people and basically say, we don't want anyone else turning into this, even though we're still supporting this for baffling reasons. So we're basically trying to squash down anyone that doesn't make us money. That's really the biggest sense I heard of this, is from a business standpoint, I get why YouTube is doing this. I really do. Because the fact of the matter is, smaller YouTubers don't make a whole lot of money. I'm lucky if I make, and this is a topic I'll talk about more in a little bit, I'm lucky if I get $100 every 2 years for my stuff. But so they obviously want to focus, so instead of risking advertisers putting their videos in front of really shady shit, which, quite frankly, because of, again, stupid fucking people who just want attention, people give it attention, those fuckers, for some reason, they don't want to be associated with that, so they're trying to stop the creation of more, and hopefully the people that actually make good content will rise up through the ranks, and those are the people that will be properly advertised. Unfortunately, I don't see that actually working as they probably think it will, because you're still going to get the creepers, you're still going to get the fucking perverts, and all that shit is still going to rise to the ranks, because sadly that's what's popular right now, and that's a whole cultural trend. I'm not usually cynical about people in general. I still believe in the good of people, but we watch some stupid shit. So like from a business standpoint, I get why they're dropping support for the people that don't make them any real money. Now from a personal from a perspective of small YouTubers, myself included, And then I'm also losing my monetization status because of this stupid shit. And like, what is today? The 7th of the time I'm recording this, so in about 13 days. What an unlucky number. There's just something about YouTube in the way that it kind of built itself up as a platform where anyone can really kind of succeed. It kind of became like the new American frontier in a way, at least in the online community. And that became the big point, like, okay, if you just put the work in, you make something creative, make something original, even if you don't have a lot of followers, you can still get something out of this. You can still get some kind of gain out of this. You can still theoretically make a business, even if you start really, really small. That was kind of the idea around YouTube. Sadly, that's not really what it is anymore, and I don't think it has been for a while. But the idea was still there. The idea that you can kind of rise the ranks through just working hard and making great content, and even if you just do it for fun, you could, or even if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, but you still have a lot of watch time, you can still make a good amount of money out of it. But there's just something in basically just very insulting about being told by a major corporation that very, very plainly, very, very obviously, we don't care about you. You do not matter to us. You do not match our bottom line. We don't care about you. Therefore, we are dropping you. And I really think that's what it comes down to. I think that's why so many people are pissed off. And I'm not going to pretend I'm happy about it either. I don't like it. I'm not as angry as other people are because for me, in the grand scheme of things, I mostly do this for fun. I would love to be able to do it for a living, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. But for a lot of people, it does feel like a gigantic fuck you from Google and YouTube, and just basically saying that you smaller people that made us what we are now, that made us this big, huge online sensation, this thing that everyone relies on for daily videos and entertainment, you don't matter to us. You are nothing at this point, and we have no incentive to try to get you to rise up. You are essentially on your own, but you're still looking to put videos on our site, though. So there's just something inherently insulting about that, and people have a right to be pissed about that. People do absolutely have a right to be pissed about that, because nobody likes being told they don't matter. No one likes being shoved aside like they mean nothing. That's just... it's not usually a pleasant feeling. Yeah, so people are pissed about that, and my own personal thoughts, I was mad too. I've calmed down a bit in time, but yeah, I'm right there with them in that it does feel like horseshit. It does feel like it's throwing a lot of hard work I put into promoting my stuff and making it mean nothing, because even though it's like just a number that I barely ever see actually physically have in my bank account, it still felt like something I was earning. It still felt like mine. It still felt like, okay, I earned that cent. You know, and it just feels like a lot of that's going to is like, okay, well, we're gonna take that, and you're just gonna get views that mean inherently nothing, except they aren't, and to be fair, they aren't inherently nothing. There's still people that watch your content, so they really like your content, but there's just something satisfying. I feel like it's like a hard-earned, like the value of $1 kind of thing, whereas like you may not, like, it may not mean much, but that dollar means you earned that fucking dollar. Now again, like I said before, I have no illusion of making a lot of money off YouTube. I make pennies on the dollar as far as YouTube is concerned. I'm lucky if I can make $100 every 2 years, and I'm sure a lot of smaller YouTubers are in that same boat with me. But again, it's just being told that you don't matter, and that is just so degrading, and it takes the wind out of a lot of your sails. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna stop or slow down when I do it at all. No, I'm still gonna make content. I still love doing it. It's still a lot of fun for me. It's a great release. I'm still gonna do it. But for a lot of people, there is a definitely good reason to feel discouraged by the change. Do I think they will change it because of the backlash? No, I don't. I think they're going to keep with this. I don't think YouTube or Google really cares. They're going to push ahead full steam, and they're just trying to cut out the middleman, trying to cut out all the fat, while also not really doing anything to address the actual controversy that they've been surrounded by lately, which is the creepy kid shows, the YouTubers who do stupid shit. those still have full support by YouTube and Google, which is kind of shocking to me. I know they've tried to squash the kids show stuff, but those are still cropping up. Now, to talk about some of the defenses I've heard about this, I've already kind of addressed the business side of things. That one's fair. I've heard some interesting defenses from the actual YouTube community. So people are putting some videos out there, and I've listened to some of the arguments. Not all. I'm sure there are a bunch of them. I don't have time to look for every goddamn argument in the fucking internet. But the ones I've read, I've noticed a few distinct things. This goes for online articles too. In that very few articles I've read defending this, even if it's just from a strictly business standpoint, none of them ever really talk about how it positively affects the current YouTubers on YouTube. Like, at all. That's usually, in fact, is glossed over. So again, this shows it's in no way favoring the consumer. It's entirely focused on supporting the big global conglomerate. That's the entire purpose of this. It doesn't help the YouTuber. It doesn't help anyone, really, that outside. It doesn't help the consumer in any way, shape, or form. It's strictly for business. And again, that part in particular pisses me off, because it's like, you make a product. Your product is to have other people bring their products to you and say, you can theoretically make this popular. You can theoretically brand yourself on the product you put onto our product. But now it's basically Shark Tank and saying that your idea is, we reject your idea, but we're still going to keep the product. I hope that makes sense. I don't have a script for this. I'm kind of just working off the cuff. But it's basically robbing the product from the consumer to redistribute, but in no way compensating the person that actually made it. I have no clue if that made any fucking sense. I'm gonna pause to take my thoughts. Don't worry, I'm not gonna start all over again. This will be just a little cut right now. Okay, so what I think I'm trying to say is this. What pisses me off about the fact that is, like, I think companies like Google and YouTube and like even like Facebook or Twitter or any of those have a natural they are a company that's designed to make money, but I think they should theoretically have a obligation to help the consumer. That is the purpose of a business. So when you see something like this, it's such a blatant act of working against the people that support them. It's working against the people that made them popular. It's basically kind of a huge chunk of your market and saying, we no longer want you poor peasants. We only want the rich high society. These are the ones that will just guide us to the next world or whatever. It's basically saying that the smaller people don't matter anymore. And I know I've said that part to death, so I don't want to repeat too much more beyond that. But it just shows a clear focus on just making money rather than helping people, which is what I felt like at some point YouTube used to be about, or at least pretend to be about. Now they've just dropped the pretenses, and that's frustrating. That's really, really frustrating. Now so that's the defense from the business side. The more insulting defenses from the YouTube community, the one that pissed me off the most was one guy I saw who just said, like, I don't really see this as a fucking problem. I'm exaggerating, obviously. Because if you just put the work in, I had a job before this and I just quit my job, became a YouTuber full time, and that's when my numbers really started to shoot out. Okay, here's the thing, dipshit. Now, that is a really nice idea, and that's kind of the American dream. If you work hard enough, if you do everything right, you too can be successful if you just work hard enough. Here's reality. That is never usually the case. For some people it is, and for them, good for you. And I'm not saying like being a successful YouTuber is an easy thing. Not at all. It takes a lot of hard work and it does take a lot of dedication. That being said, for the majority of us smaller people, myself included, I work 2 jobs to be able to pay my rent, and I still have to make time to do this on the side. I can't just cut everything off and focus my full time to YouTube. Because even if I did, 1, that would not guarantee success, and 2, that would ensure I'd be homeless within a month. So I have to try to balance that and try to build up something that I'm working very hard to do. Now, apparently this person was privileged enough to be able to be in a position where he could quit his job and focus full-time on this stuff, but not everyone has that luxury. In fact, I would argue most don't. So to imply that The only thing you need to become a successful YouTuber is just to dedicate full on into it, is just quite frankly insulting to the billions and millions of hardworking people that have to work their fucking ass off just to survive, let alone try to do something they love to do. And they want to be supported for that. They want to be supported for pursuing their passion, for expressing themselves in a way they can in any other way. That's what the magic of YouTube is if you just get past all the people that are just there to act like idiots to get attention, and God knows there's plenty of those on there, there's still people that bring genuinely fantastic passion projects. There's some amazing people on YouTube. Some people that I've met personally, others I've met through Twitter or YouTube itself or Facebook or whatever. I have met and talked with some great creators, and they're getting shat on by this. And they're being told, like, despite all your hard work, you still don't matter to us. And you can still express your ideas, but we have no obligation to compensate for you for that in any way, shape, or form. And that just feels like a slap in the face to all that hard work. Now, granted, the reward can be, it can be from the fan base and from the feedback you get from all the people that love your work. That is also very, very rewarding, and that's why a lot of small YouTubers still do what they do, because I emphasize again, they don't make a lot of money, if at all. So sometimes that praise is enough, but it's still nice to feel like you're working towards something. You're working towards a goal. You're working towards being able to basically cash that first paycheck, and you feel like you're earning something along the way, and that can help keep you going. So all praise is really nice, and for a lot of YouTubers, small YouTubers right now, we're just gonna have to get used to it. It just feels like we're being robbed. It just feels like we're being robbed of something, and I don't see the defense of, you just gotta work hard enough, you just gotta push through it, you just gotta drop everything and focus on this full time. That's not a realistic option for most of us, and to imply that it just takes hard work, it's just, it seems like it's coming from a point of privilege for somebody who's not at all affected by this, who's perfectly fine, who's not going to be demonetized. He has all the subscribers and watch time he needs. He's not affected by this at all, so he can talk from that point of view. He cannot talk from our point of view, and to me, that's very frustrating and very, you don't understand, like, that's when it's like, you shut the fuck about things you don't understand, because clearly you were in a position, maybe you live with your parents, maybe you save some money, put the money down, or lived in a cheap state. I don't know. Either way, you're in a position where you could do that. Most of us can't. Shut the fuck up. So that's that rant. But my last point I want to bring up, and this is kind of a general call to arms for most people on YouTube right now, people who are watching, people who create, people, big YouTubers, small YouTubers, whatever. Something I have seen kind of come from this, like the one silver lining I will say, is that, especially on Twitter, I've seen smaller YouTubers kind of band together in a way that I haven't seen before, and it's been kind of a fascinating experience. And I have reached out and I've talked to a lot of them, not like deep conversations, but I've been going on there. I've been showing support using the hashtag SmallYoutubeArmy, and just kind of connecting with a lot of different YouTubers, a lot of big smaller YouTubers, and just kind of supporting each other. And the response from this has been incredible as far as that goes. Everyone's kind of going like, no, you know what, fuck you, YouTube. We're going to support each other if you're not going to support us. And that's where I kind of lead to you guys. So, like, I think we here at MDCN Reviews have supported anywhere between 50 to 100 different small YouTubers over the course of the past month. And after reaching on YouTube and explaining our own situation, we've got a ton of support in kind. We've gone from 380 subscribers to over 450 in less than a month. That's pretty damn good. And I'm hoping to see that content growing. But for the rest of you guys watching this, I implore you, please, 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 look up smaller YouTubers, look at our subscribe list on this channel, find some channels you like, throw them some support. They need it too. And also, if you're watching this, you're just here to find another viewpoint on this matter, please subscribe to us, because we really do need the support. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm gonna get to 1,000 before the February 20th deadline, but I would at least like 500 would be nice. But yeah, just go track down smaller YouTubers, support them, show them love, give them comment, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you want a whole bunch, you can just look over to our subscribe list on our channel. Just look at the list, find some ones you like, give them a subscribe. It's a click. It takes no time off you whatsoever, and it helps out. It really helps out. So that's the general point. One of these, like, you know what? I'm gonna quote Patton Oswalt. It's chaos. Be kind. So just be kind, everyone, right now. Support. Be good people. Be good people to each other. Show people that, you know, they are loved by you guys. You guys are what make everything possible. So show them that. Show them how important the masses are. Show how important that you guys are to making things grow. And also, again, kind of a fuck you to YouTube and saying that you're like, you may only want to support the big ones, but we want to support the smaller ones. And I would love it if, and I'm not saying me, just I would love it if smaller YouTubers rose through the ranks because of this, as a way of saying, we're not going down without a fight. And that's what I'm hoping to see from the future. That's what I want to see out of the community. So that's why I encourage you guys, please do that. I think I've gone on long enough. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope most of my arguments made sense. I know I kind of started to ramble at one point, but I'm hoping I made my point mostly clear. Otherwise, if you're, again, like and subscribe if you haven't already, we can really support others. Be good people. See you guys later.